Week in review, July 8th, 2024. A couple weeks into the athlete interview series, and I've almost finished 50. So I'm at, I think, 49. I'll do 50 today. I'll probably get 2 or 3 in. I have another busy day. I have a testing athlete in town and other CrossFit work stuff to do. So yesterday I did like 7 or 8. The day before I think I did 6 or 7. So really happy with how it's going, enjoying talking to all the athletes and getting to know them, their story a little more. It's been a great experience, and I think just going into the games with this perspective of having spoken to everyone and chatted about various things related to them as competitors and individuals is going to be, it's already beneficial to my headspace of coming in there and seeing them all for the first time. So really happy with this. After this, I'll morph that into something else. These 10 to 15 minute interviews will continue. Thinking doing affiliate owners, even some other HQ staff. So really excited about where I can take that. One comment I wanted to clarify was there's this, someone asked me about Navy SEALs in relation to SEAL training to go into the games. And I said going to the games is harder than SEAL training. And I want to clarify what I meant by that. In just a pure numbers perspective, getting to the games, 80 people a year get to the games, is much harder than actually becoming a SEAL, because there's hundreds of people every year who become a SEAL. But when I say that, I want to clarify that doesn't mean that the 80 or the 40 men and 40 women who go to the games would easily become SEALs. I actually think probably less than 10 to 5% of them would be able to make it through the SEAL training. So the physicality of getting to the games is immense and incredibly difficult, and overwhelming majority of Navy SEALs could not do that. But the mental aspect of SEAL training and what that takes, an overwhelming majority of the games athletes could not do that. And so I don't want it to sound like I think being a games or that the games athlete, that also, because I think it's harder to be a games athlete, that I think the games athletes could also easily become SEALs, which I do not think that. So that being said, there is a former games athlete within the last several years. He was a games athlete who stopped competing, and he recently went through BUD/S and is now a SEAL. And we're in contact. I'm not going to say who it is to respect his privacy for that. You probably figured it out, but to respect his privacy with his new role as a SEAL, where keeping that stuff kind of staying under the radar matters and means something. So I have now seen a games athlete make the transition into going to BUD/S and becoming a SEAL. And then, of course, there was Josh Bridges, who was a SEAL, who became a games athlete. So a lot of crossover of the years. Well, not a lot. A handful of situations of crossover over the years of the two. Second thing I want to talk about before getting into comments is a few people sent me the link of Fikowski saying somewhere that if CrossFit doesn't change some things, Hyrox can take over. And I didn't see the whole clip, so that's the only context I have. I don't know how he's saying it. I'm going to speak about it, but it might not be exactly what his point was. And that title could be clickbait for all I know. If the title is accurate, I imagine the things that Fikowski wants changed are ideas he has, of course. So I'll start with that. The second piece is I view Hyrox as we are on two different paths. We do two very different things. So you look at what we do, and we have the CrossFit Games where we crown the fittest alive. And we have this process that gets people there and starts with a tremendous amount of people on an online community event, whittles down to really select elite events that then qualify people to this pinnacle event where very few people go, and you just can't, it takes a tremendous amount of training to get there, and we legitimately crown the fittest on earth. We do that, we do this middle section of events, and we do this massive online competition and online community event. That's the beginning of all of that. I view Hyrox as doing an in-person community event, and they're doing a really good job of it with a fixed format, which is cool, but it's also very different than what we do. I would say this too. I would love for Hyrox to try to run an event where they're crowning the fittest on earth and try to compete with us for that realm or that title or in that world. And I would also love for them to try to compete with us on the online format, the community building piece we have, and try to get anywhere near 300,000 people. But what I can almost guarantee you is they would not love for us to get into the community, in-person competition, mass participation event space. And why I say that, because if we did, we'd crush it. If we were to create something where had a traveling series of in-person, competitive community mass participation events, we would do very well at that. And why? Because we have an amazing team who has a lot of experience running events and understanding of what our community, what the CrossFit community is looking for, and we have a really large community, over 12, 13,000 gyms around the world. So us getting into their space is probably more worrisome for them than them trying to get into our space. But again, I view it, we're both doing different things. And so we can both exist where we're existing and be happy. I don't think they are at all a threat to the CrossFit Games and what we are doing. And I like what they're doing. I like that they're getting people moving and getting people competing. So it's all healthy. Let's dive into comments. Great job, Dave. Push the good stuff forward. This is from @RemyBrealt456. Push the good stuff forward. Positive vibes. My guess is Chad, including a movement being done every 100 reps. Either you are evil and program double unders, or go for a more balanced choice of including pull-up, muscle-ups, or handstand walks. Dave, did I sort by, let me just read this one and then I'll sort it. Dave, your logo has pistons in it. I remember seeing a video of you and some athletes riding motorcycles. Do you still ride? What kind of motorcycle? So I do still ride. I have a Harley and I have a Triumph. I have a Road Glide. I don't ride those as much, but I also have a KTM free ride, electric dirt bike, which is awesome. I'm going to do a review of it soon for getting around on the ranch. So I also have a Ranger, a Polaris Ranger, and that's great for getting around on the ranch. And as you've seen, it's steep, but especially once it gets wet, it tears up the grass. And when the grass gets torn up and I go over the same trail over and over, there's potential for erosion. So I decided to get a dirt bike, electric dirt bike, which is quiet and easy, instant power. You get on and go. So yes, to answer your question, I still do ride more dirt bikes now, and I used to ride dirt bikes a lot more several years ago, but more dirt bike now just to get around the ranch than actual street motorcycles, which I still do own a couple. And I'm trying actually to get rid of my Triumph because I have too many bikes. At 77 Do Rock, Dave, interview Hiller, and then someone said upvote. It's a good idea. At Jan, pick things up. So I'm going to skip that. Mr. Y vote in. Why did CrossFit choose not to use Sean Woodland to be the voice of CrossFit to comment on the games? I talked a little bit about that last week. At Augustin Link, hey Dave, can we rename this series? Dave responds to ding dongs in the comment section. At Josh Carter 48, hey Dave, next time you're at Fort Liberty, I'd be honored to hang out with you to see what you're doing with the 18th. Thanks for all you do. Good to know. Keep that in mind. At Wad Zombie, hi Dave, what is event 1? Then a few others said, that is a great question. Someone said triathlon. Someone said 1,000 box step-ups. Event 1 will be announced shortly. So within this week, we will know what event 1 is. At Mason in Tucson, first, love these interviews. You should do post-game interviews too. You're right. I should. I don't know if I will, but what I am planning on doing during the week, I think I'm going to do nightly recap interviews, or not interviews, nightly recaps of the day. So again, same format, 10 to 15 minutes, probably like this. I'll speak to the camera, and I'll just kind of go over the day's events. So I say probably, but whenever I say probably, that definitely means I'm going to do it. So you could expect that. At the Tone-a-Tone, what did you cut from the Tia interview? Thanks. If I wanted you to know, I would not have cut it. Are you ready? 4OU2 Rock. I'm glad you were talking with all the athletes. Excited to see the affiliate interviews. Yep, I'm excited to get to that series too. Just need to get through this athlete interview series. And remember too, so when I started this, decided to interview all 80. It was only a few weeks ago. Within a few, Sevon was like, oh, he's not going to get past 10. And so very quickly I got past 10. Now I'm at 49, and I'll finish this in a matter of weeks. So I'm really excited about getting through all of them. At JB1108, interview series is great. Thank you for your engagement and activity there. Another interview series. Hey, Dave, really enjoying the athlete interview series. Thanks for taking the time to make them happen. Jack Razema is great. You should all come to Fort Liberty sometimes. At Keon535. Hey Dave, huge fan of yours and the work you do. I thoroughly enjoy your content and it like immersing myself in all that you do outside of CrossFit. Shooting, making your oils, leathers, goods, etc. I hope to one day get to meet you and learn some shooting from you or anything tactical related, to be honest. Lucky Games athletes have easy access to you that normal people don't. It'd be cool if you host an event, first come, first serve, that you taught tactical stuff. I'd love to do that and hang on the ranch. I've thought about having some shooting courses. I don't think I'd get into tactics in terms of advanced tactics, but maybe just basic weapons handling and how to shoot safely and how to identify a threat and not and know when to use your weapon. So, but as like it's clear because more of my life is out there with what I do. I just have a lot going on, so I don't know if I'll do that anytime soon. If I were to do it, it'd be in the off season, basically fall or winter. But I have thought about hosting small not camps, but just shooting instruction engagements. At R3123, are there plans to bring back Road to the Games? Love all the athlete interviews. Not currently, but maybe in the future. At Gregory Kirshabam, hey Dave, what about highlighting and interviewing some of the seminar staff from around the world? That's a really good idea. I probably will work that into the series too. At Will Schiff, interview Alex Escuela from CrossFit Decimate. He's running 2 affiliates right now, and that's a story in and of itself, one in Florida and one in Colorado. He's a consistent HQ supporter and hosts level 1 and level 2 seminars whenever he can. Okay, I'll try to get him on the list. If Alex is watching this, thank you, Alex, for everything you do. Thanks for being a part of the community and contributing to changing the folks in Florida and Colorado and making a positive impact on your local communities. At Kipping It Real CrossFit, this guy's said some funny shit in the past. The reason I enjoy these athlete interviews is because the games in Fort Worth will be my first ever CrossFit, even of any kind, live, and having a face, a voice, and a story behind the names has me more invested emotionally and will enhance the whole experience. Okay, at hold on, let me get my dog. She's walking after someone. So there's cameras up here, and I can watch what's going on. At Christine Young 78, loving the athlete series. At Alpine CrossFit, can you interview Boz? It'd be fun to hear the two of you go back and forth. I think that's a really good idea. I should definitely interview him at one point. Over the years, we've had some heated debates on movement, methodology, theory, everything. Because you got to remember, we were teaching seminars together in 2007, 8 for years, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then traveling the world literally together teaching seminars. Then he was one of our senior seminar staff members when I stopped traveling, but he was one of our senior guys who we would send out. So we've been on the road together for a very long time. And back in the day, like I said, have had some heated discussion on all things theory, movement, theory related to movement specifically, training. And I wish those would have been recorded. And honestly, intellectually, it challenged me in that world to become better, because Boz is a wizard with his knowledge on the movement. So yeah, that would be fun. J.C. Ramirez, hey Dave, did you know The Chosen is actually filmed not far outside of Fort Worth? I knew it was filmed in Texas. I didn't know it was filmed outside of Fort Worth. That's pretty cool. I'd love to see the set. I just finished season 4. Really good show. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And that is going to be it for the weekend review for today. So As always, if you have any comments, put them in the comment section, and next week I will address them. Thanks for watching, and check out the rest of the athlete interviews as I knock them out this week.